Texans announced that Nico Collins has been placed on the IR due to a hamstring injury suffered on Sunday during the Bills game. In response, CJ Stroud has now requested everyone on the team to call him Cardi B to ensure that Stephon Diggs is always attracted to what he's throwing out. Welcome to the Moonsam Cast. I am Jordan. This is the Migos to my Fetty Wap, Brian. Brian, how are you doing?
I was good. But, well done, but fuck, that's not where I thought you were going at all.
No.
Whenever you texted me saying that, you sent me a screenshot of Nico Collins, it's his announcement their announcement that he's going to injured to IR or IL, whichever one. And I was like, I don't know where he's going to go with this, and that's not where I was expecting it to go.
I was like 2 seconds before a lunch meeting, saw that and decided that, okay, this is the joke for the day. So it worked out perfectly.
Beautiful.
Speaking of jokes, the Dodgers. Baseball playoffs are in full swing. The Dodgers Padres is like an old school fight 'em series right now. And I'm loving it.
And they hate each other too.
Mm-hmm.
There is no love lost with those teams. So the fact that it's playoff pressure on top of two teams that already hate each other. And can I just say real quick how it's a bittersweet thing to be able to watch playoff baseball purely just to enjoy it and not really give a shit who wins. Like, yeah, I've got a little bit of bias here and there, but there's no all emotional like leverage on the Astros. It's just nice to watch playoff baseball and just be like, I just want to see fun, great games. And so far they've delivered. Yeah,
I mean, the last time we were like fully able to watch a playoff, like baseball just in general, was 2016. And now it's nice to be able to sit down and be like, you know what? I'm able to watch some great games. I'm able to watch two teams who hate each other, two fan bases who hate each other, two cities that hate each other. Like Manny Machado was going to kill Dave Roberts. That home run, like the fake home run Rob or the real home run Rob, that he just let the guy run around the base. That was one of the most beautiful hater moments I've seen in a long time. I think the fans right there were confused too. Like, it wasn't just everyone the same, but the fans right there were confused. It was beautiful. It was perfect. And I cannot wait for the Dodgers to lose.
That series that's my favorite series to watch for sure. Dude, the fact that they had like the Padres opened up with 6 runs in 2 innings, and it was like, well, this game's fucking over. I think it was 6-1. And then the next inning, after Tatis's home runs, one of the Dodgers players hit a grand slam. And it was just like, oh, they're back. Oh, so this is a fun game. And then nothing happened for the rest of the game. It was a pitching duel for the rest of the game. But man, what a fun series. Two teams that fucking hate each other. That'd be like Mariners, or us and the Mariners playing in a series, or us and the Rangers playing in a series, which we did last year. But that's for other fan bases to watch coming in, I'm saying. We had the emotional charge of we hate the Rangers and we love the Astros, so it was even worse, but it's such a fun series to watch from the outside, being like, these two fucking people hate each other.
This might be somewhat of a reach in terms of like comparisons, but I think that the fact that the Dodgers, the Los Angeles, and the San Diego are playing right now proves even more that college football conferences need to be close together, because you just like, we hated the Rangers, but we also hate Dallas. Like, it's a full-on thing. And it's just fun to watch this entire series where two teams want to kill each other. When two teams have like kind of like vaguely tried to kill each other too. Like Dave Roberts was this close to dying. And then like the LA fans are throwing trash on the field. Like, it feels old school, which I like. I'm happy this is back. Speaking of not feeling old school though, is Mets Phillies.
Yeah, man. That's another fun series. Not the way the series I thought it was going to go. I thought the Phillies were a better team than the Mets, and Mets they've got the sniff of the team of destiny in the NL. Really,
I think I said this to you, and I'll say it again and again. There's just something in the air right now that feels like we're in a Subway Series World Series. Like, the Mets have gimmicks. They have the Grimace gimmick. They have the pumpkin gimmick. There's just like something going on in general where I just feel like we're barreling towards a World Series between the two New York teams. I'm not particularly happy about it. I think the Grimace stuff is funny, just because it's a weird bit to do. But in general, I'm not super happy about where we're heading. My dream is like a Padres Detroit World Series. but I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't see that happening.
Literally anyone from the AL would be fine over the Yankees, and literally anyone for the NL would be fine for anyone from the NL besides the Dodgers would be fine for me. I have preferences. I don't want it to be the Mets. I don't want it to be Cleveland, but I'm okay with the other three. I just really do not want a Subway Series, and I really don't want Dodgers Yankees, even though the MLB will fucking come its pants and just be stroking its shit to a Dodgers Yankees World Series. Now, if it is a Subway Series, that if they could somehow both lose the series at the end, it would be one of my favorite series to watch, because though New York would implode, dude. The amount of fights, arson, battery, you name it, that would go through that city because of the series would be crazy. But eventually one of them would have to win, and I don't want that.
I mean, I think it'd be really funny to see who the indicted mayor of New York chooses. That he does like the Ted Cruz where he wears a Rangers hat and then an Astros hat, or the other way around. By the way, speaking of like players who are really good, or like Ohtani, he just fucking rocks. Like Ipe had to die in prison, has to go to prison for life for this man to go hit bomb after bomb after bomb. Like, people are making fun of the whole Ohtani up in, 3 batters. It makes sense to me. Like, he's just electric to watch. Unlike Mookie Betts, which is a whole nother conversation, but Ohtani's electric to watch. And it's vaguely annoying because I think I saw he now also has more bases in the playoffs than Trout, which is just kind of sad to see. I think he got to like 5 bases. It was like more than Trout already. So imagine if they were on the same team together. What could have happened?
Yeah, what could have been? And in LA, dude, they would have made so much money.
Oh, so much money. If they just played well, if not even played well, they played well. If like the team had tried it all, like if Rondon had gone away and not been injured the entire season, all the time. By the way, speaking of being injured all the time, Judge's strikeout rate. It's hilarious to watch the fact that I'm starting a narrative. I'm going to start a narrative real quickly. Judge is a 4th and 5th rotation pitcher merchant. All right. You can go.
I don't hate that. I don't think it's true. No, because I remember seeing MLB posts all the time about him hitting nukes off big name pitchers. But I don't hate it. No, I don't hate the narrative.
Again, it doesn't have to be correct to be a narrative. That's the thing. You can just kind of say it and it's in the universe. You do that throughout the regular season. You're not always facing the top 3-4 guys in the rotation. The bullpen's always bringing its most electric stuff. You're getting guys who just got called up. You're getting guys who are younger, maybe a little less experienced, maybe throw a meatball here and there, a questionable slider. But now in the playoffs, you got guys who are throwing to throw. You got guys who realize it's on the line now. And I'm just saying, that strikeout rate throughout the playoffs in general, which is worse than Martin Maldonado. I love Maldonado. Thank you for your service to the Astros. Thank you for everything you've done for the baseball team. Thank you for everything you've done for us as just people in terms of winning. If you're getting more strikeouts than him, that's a problem. Because throughout the entirety of his run here in Houston, it was like, oh, Maldonado's up. Okay, cool. That's an out. That's auto out. If you're striking out more than he was, that's you should be sent to Double-A almost. Unless you're able to catch no hitters all the time, like Maldonado was able to, you should be in Double-A at that point.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. What are your predictions for the rest of these series?
Okay, so I'm going to give you my predictions, but also what I hope happens. Okay. It's like my NFL predictions where I just go kind of what I want, like picking the Cardinals every week, which I will do again this week because I think it's funny. Okay. So I think the Padres are going to win only because the Padres are like the U.S. men's national team where they always beat the Dodgers. And then they play any other team and they just fall apart. I don't know what the problem is there. That's why I think the Mets are going to make it to the World Series. I think the Padres are going to win. The Mets are going to win. Almost like an act of God happens. Maybe Hurricane Milton powers Castellanos. But like an act of God happens. I think the Mets are going to the World Series. I think the Padres probably will go through. We can all make the $1 billion. $1 billion for what? Losing the first round of the playoffs. Mets make it through. On the AL side, I think the Yankees are going to get there. I don't know. I truly think there's a Subway Series, World Series in the air that's about to happen. And I can't stop it, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I have Guardians winning their series over the Tigers. I have the Dodgers winning their series over the Padres. I have the Yankees winning their series over the Kansas City Royals, and I have the Mets winning over the Phillies. But that's because I can't have nice things. So that's my prediction, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I genuinely hope I'm wrong. Like, we had this whole bet with with football. I'm okay if we do this and I get to wear a dunce hat for the rest of the year because I'm so I'd love for me to be wrong. It's just like something's in the air that New York's kind of back. It just feels back. Like the Rangers going to the NHL, the Knicks kind of feel good right now. The Jets or whatever. We'll talk about the Jets. The Giants are also whatever. We'll talk about it. All the football power got switched to the baseball power. And now they're going to make it to the World Series.
I would love to see a Phillies. I'll go Tigers over Royals World Series because of how pissed off the world is going to be that the one big market, the Phillies, make it. And if they lose, chef's kiss. There's nothing I like more. If we can't win, there's nothing I want more than small market teams to win outside of the Rangers. Because it's just a fuck you to the MLB because you suck off the biggest markets. You suck off the Phillies. You suck off the Yankees. You suck off the Dodgers. You like anything happens with these teams that's good, and that's all your feed from them. So there's nothing that makes me happier when there's small market teams do something.
Yeah, I mean, by the time this podcast comes out tomorrow morning, we'll maybe have some answers. So this is just all predictions going into, it's like 5 o'clock here. We'll see what happens, but we'll see. I love I'll say this. I love AJ Hinch. I think the fact that Alex Cora got to come back means AJ Hinch should have been able to come back. Whatever. I'm just happy to see him succeeding on a team that actively tried to fight against him for many years. So, speaking of fighting, NBA really quickly. It's preseason. Not much is happening. I want to give a shout out to my boy, Jamal Shed, who I have an agenda for. I love Jamal Shed. I loved Jamal Shed for years. He's on the Raptors now. He's a UH grad, UH product. Watch him go from a guy who was, thrust into the spotlight by injury to a guy who I think could make it in the NBA. He played 17 minutes for the Raptors, 10 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. One of those steals, he faked out a defender in midair, which is really cool to see. And I'm happy for him, and I want to see him succeed whenever the season actually starts. Speaking of preseason, more Reed Shepherd, questionably looking in the Rockets' first preseason game. He looked good defensively. He looked relatively good defensively.
No, I'm pre-emphasis. I like him a lot. This is either going to be a phenomenal pick or we're going to look like fucking idiots. And there's not really going to be an in between.
Reed's problem is, I think, truly his size. He's
6 foot, right?
He's like 6 foot. Yeah. I mean, it's not, I don't know. It's not horrible, but it's not NBA. You don't think 6 foot is NBA size. The GMs did a poll, and 50% of them think he's going to win Rookie of the Year, which I could see as well. I think that could happen. I just think that he needs to look for better open shots. He still is pretty good defensively. He's good in transition. He's a good passer in transition. Maybe he looked great in the G League. I think maybe once he gets the feel of the NBA, he'll get better.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it is a step up from the college game to the NBA. It is a faster, stronger, harder game, better defenders. You're playing against the best in the world. So it might take time to adjust. I don't think he is this all-star amazing talent that's coming out of college or coming out of the NBA draft and is going to have an immediate fuck you impact. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be a 2 to 3 year process. I think this year we're going to be, hey, we saw some good, we saw some, he has to get used to the NBA. But I think a couple years down the line, we're going to be we made the right pick.
I think no one really knows who the Rookie of the Year is going to be. It just seems again, this class is full of guys who can either be a good, solid starter, but not an all-star starter, or a guy who can play a sixth man. He feels like he could be a good sixth man, maybe. We'll see. Again, like you said, 2 to 3 year process. last thing on basketball came out this week that the Warriors liked Bronny and wanted to draft Bronny, but wanted to respect the wishes of LeBron. Cowards. Absolute cowards. Listen. If you're a real Steve Kerr, I thought you were sitting Jason Tatum in the Olympics as like a mental gymnastics game to get in his head. Maybe not. If this was Bill Belichick, he would have not only would he have drafted Bronny, he would have had Bronny sit on the bench against the Lakers every game. Every time they played each other, he would have had them sit on the bench and have LeBron look in the eyes and see his son failing the NBA to get in his head. Steve Kerr, you coward. Warriors, you cowards. Okay?
Cowards.
You cowards. I think I saw a tweet like Bill Belichick would have traded up to get him just to play mental games. So yeah, that's the NBA right now. We're coming closer and closer to the season. I'm excited for certain parts. Again, I'm more of a college basketball guy. Say it every week. College basketball looks fun this year, but it always looks fun. But yeah, Jamal Shred killer, Reece Shepard. We'll see. We'll see. My soccer update. The international break is coming up again because there are like 3,000 of them now. Poch's first team came out. We have 2 MLS defenders. Woo! Even though they were kind of expected. Poch also may have not picked the team because he got his green card the day of the announcement, which means that's when he became an employee of U.S. Soccer. And
hold on. So we can basically ask whoever we want to coach, right? We can go hire them, whoever we want. We then have to make them a citizen.
We did not a citizen, just a green card. He doesn't have to.
Okay.
No, so you don't have to be a citizen, but you do have to have a green card to work in America. So he still has to follow like. I know people. I work with people who had to like struggle for a green card for years. They just like got it in like 2 days. So it's a different process when you're. Yeah, it's a different if Wembanyama needed he probably got his green card in like 2 seconds. Joe Biden was actually on that call. But
executive bill.
Yeah, it was an executive order. It's like, give that man a green card. Right now.
Spurs are back.
Pop called me personally. We are the same age. And he asked me to give him a green card.
Make the Spurs great again.
I mean, here's the thing. If someone ran on that, I think there's a non-zero chance they could win on that pitch. It's like, I'm just going to help the Spurs out. Because the Spurs, like, they feel I don't know. They just feel like kind of like a soft America's team. Like everyone's like, I kind of like the Spurs.
Not to get political, in my opinion, they would have my vote over the 2 assholes that we currently have running. So
why would you say something so brave yet controversial yet so whatever the fucking quote is? God, I can't remember. I'm just looking at
this is not a clip.
Yeah, no, it's not a clip. You think I'm gonna clip this in October? Dear God, no.
Oh,
I'm not that. I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. Speaking of stupid, Jurgen Klopp. So he is now the director of football for Red Bull, which is a group of football, like soccer clubs. I say football clubs around Europe, and everyone kind of hates them because they go against certain protocols and rules, especially in Germany. And it just kind of feels weird to see a guy who, I'm not going to say his nemesis, but like his main rival for the past 9 years was a club run by a conglomeration, City Football Group. And now he's kind of working for one as director of football. He was always like a great, like a talent. Like his job here is kind of to find talent and make it good. And that's what he's good at. The problem is it's the vibe. It's the kind of what's behind it. I don't love it. I'm not going to go after. He's a 59-year-old man who's probably securing his bag, even though he probably had a bag already. But at the same time, it just feels a little like whatever. Just on happier note, Christian Pulisic can't stop scoring. America rocks. America's back. Arne Slot hates Nottingham Forest. Greg Berhalter is back. He got hired by the Chicago Fire. They're last, understandably. They won't get farther than that. And there was a game in Germany where there were 2 guys who picked up balls for penalties. Fun times. That's my soccer update. International break coming up. Again, I'm just kind of excited to see what Poch does. So that's my soccer update. Let's move on to college football.
What a weekend! Hey, remember when I shit on this weekend's slate and was like, it's going to be a whatever fucking weekend? Holy shit! Upsets after upsets. We have Houston over TCU. Hey, we were fucking wrong about Houston scoring.
Let me talk about this real quickly. I have to downplay Houston winning because of one thing. For years after Bill O'Brien left the Texans and he worked for Alabama, my line was, oh, you beat a Bill O'Brien team, that doesn't count. Or you lost a Bill O'Brien team, oh, that's horrible for you. Currently, a defensive specialist on TCU is Dana Holgorsen. Now, my line going to the season has been, if you lose to TCU, you're an idiot, and if you win, it doesn't count. Now, is there something to be said about us scoring 30 points after 2 shutout weekends against a team with a defensive specialist named Dana Holgorsen, who was one of the worst coaches I've ever seen? Possibly. I mean,
he just proved it. He just helped prove it. Hey, this team that has not scored a point in 2 weeks just hung 30 on 30,
you. By the way, we put in a new quarterback. Was it Dion Chris? Zion Chris. Yeah, Zion Chris. He passed for 141 yards. Cool. Great. Right? Good. He ran for 97. We've just decided that our quarterbacks no longer throw the ball. Like, we are a QB draw school, which I'm okay with.
Who are you talking to, buddy?
What? Oh, yeah, that's true.
Who the fuck are you talking to, bud?
Hey, at least you get to win games, all right? I had to watch zeros. This is my second win of the season. I maybe get 3 next week. After that, I'm done. Let me have this for a second. Also, Sonny Dykes.
This shouldn't be funny, but it's a little funny.
I mean, if you ever go to TCU message boards, you'll see that they just refuse to mention the 2022 national championship or the 2023 national championship, probably for good reason. But they all say that was still Gary Patterson's team. I'm becoming more and more inclined to agree because that was a horrible showing from everyone involved. With that said, we're winning more than one game this year. We're beating more than Rice. We beat a Big 12 opponent. So this is big for me. I was watching the game. I was like, oh my God, we're going to get more than one win this year. So
let's fucking go, dude.
And then 2 weeks from now, we play at Arrowhead, Kansas at Arrowhead, which is cool. That might be a win. And then after that, we're going to get like murdered for the rest of the season. But
wait, is that this weekend or is that?
It's October. No, it's October 19th. So week and a half from now.
And then this is technically by Vegas wasn't an upset, but by rankings it was. Washington over Michigan. Yeah. Revenge?
I was going to let you talk about the one because as a Notre Dame fan, I think seeing Michigan lose is always fun for you.
It is, but I mean, I can't talk shit. They just won a national championship. Yeah. It's like we struggled to talk shit to the Rangers this year because they just won a World Series. It's like they have it. Yeah, we talked shit, but they can just go. Remember last year, and we just go. So it's nice to see them lose, but Notre Dame hasn't won a national championship for 35 plus years, I think. So I can't really talk that much shit, but it was nice to see them lose.
It's a good revenge game. Michael Penix was happy in Atlanta for 2 reasons this weekend.
Arkansas over Tennessee. I didn't watch a single snap of this game.
I saw the last quarter. Tennessee, what the hell just happened? You guys just gave up. I don't know. That's kind of all I saw. I didn't see much of it, but it was nice. I don't know. I kind of like am a vague Tennessee hater, just vague. No, for no good reason. Just because I don't know. It's just vibes. That's about all. But yeah.
Now here's another fun one. Joe Biden meme, Minnesota over USC. Yeah, get fucked, USC. You're not even ranked anymore. Hweh.
They had so this is a theme all weekend was the brandishing a weapon penalties. To that, I just want to say one thing. Guys can't have fun anymore. What happened in this country?
I can't pretend to unload a fucking I pumped a shotgun. I was gonna say clip. You can't unload the bag on a player anymore, pretend to shoot him and fucking make him unrecognizable. Ugh, is this even America anymore?
What's the woke mob doing to this country? The woke mob of the NCAA doing to this country? That I can't pull a gun out of my drawers anymore.
Speaking of real quick, did you see the guy put the seatbelt on and then slowly pull out the gun and shoot the guy in the back of the head? That was egregious. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. I've never seen a ref just go, like I think you can see his shoulders go. Throw the flag. Like, I hope that kid turns into an NFL star. That is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
If I was a richer man, I'd start saying, "Hey, players, I will pay if like your team finds you or something." Or like maybe NFL players, if you like just start brandishing weapons on everything that happens, a good punt, pull out a fucking machine gun and just start going for it. Build like a grenade launcher, do whatever you want. I will pay your fine. I can't, don't take that. But if I was a richer man, I would.
SMU over LSU, another game I didn't watch, but anything that bad that happens to Brian Kelly is a plus to me, so fuck you. And then Vanderbilt, Alabama.
Dude, what a game. And the thing is, the score, like, it was actually not even that close. The score does not accurately reflect how the game looked. Like, what a game. I think I made the joke. If Nick Saban were still the head coach there, he would start sacrificing players in the field before he lost to Vandy. Like, he'd start killing people in the crowd before he lost.
There would be bodies.
He probably already has bodies as it is. Don't clip that. But I say the guy who clips it, but he would start killing people before he let them lose to Vanderbilt. Like really, a lot of teams in the SEC, but Vanderbilt especially.
I think this was the first case of, hey, we don't have that coach anymore. I think this was the first case for Alabama coaches saying we don't have Saban anymore. When they beat Georgia, they were like, dude, holy shit. It's like we didn't even lose the greatest coach of all time, and then they lose to Vanderbilt. Yo, like that is probably a slap in the face wake up call. I cheer for Alabama because I went there for a couple of years. It's kind of funny to watch them fail, though.
It's like it was like last year watching the Patriots. We're like, ha ha, ha ha. Now I'm just kind of sad, but like I was ha ha. It's nice to watch. Like the thing is, the Vanderbilt's like likable as a team because they're just like a bunch of nerds. Like realistically. They're just a bunch of nerds, the entire school. Nerds who, by the way, very smart nerds. I also love that their quarterback he goes, I want to give all glory to God, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, we're fucking turned right now. Like right afterwards.
What a switch to flip.
I mean, on national TV as well, the FCC got involved in that one. Probably ESPN or I think it was SEC Network got fined for that, which is, again, a beautiful thing. Again, if I were a richer man, and if you're a player who just won a big game, wants to cuss on TV, I'll pay whatever fine you get. Again, don't clip that. I will not pay you for you. But if I were a richer man. Also, the field goal, the goalpost going into the river, they had to walk 3 miles for that.
That's crazy. Have you seen the helicopter
footage?
Yeah,
the black and as like kids jump down the river. Yeah, no, it's great.
Crazy.
It's great.
Love it.
I loved listen, I'm not an administrator in any capacity. I imagine if you're an administrator for Vanderbilt University, a little bit of a nightmare. I'm not. I love when students take goalposts down and throw them in rivers. That is the funniest thing in the world to me because there's no discernible reason for it. Like it's not, you don't get anything for it. It's not like a celebration we know to do. Tennessee did, and we're like, fuck it, let's all just throw it in the river now. Like if you win, just throw it in the river.
It's drunk college kids being drunk college kids, and it fucking rules.
And the funniest thing is you see like the security guards just filming it the entire time. They're like, I can't stop it. Yeah.
There's thousands of students, thousands of drunk 18 to 25-year-olds running around, ripping this, full of emotion, like probably the most jacked on adrenaline they've been in a long time. No fucking way am I getting in their way.
I'm getting paid like $12 an hour. I'm not getting in their way at all. I'm going to let them throw that thing in the river. So fun times. Also, speaking of being thrown around, Mizzou just got destroyed by A&M.
Yeah.
Like
that was an ass kicking. I forgot to write that down. That was an ass kicking.
Yeah.
Like it was sure. Vanderbilt beat Alabama up. At least their score reflected it, and at least they had signs of life throughout the game. A&M curb stomped them and then just kept stomping on their fucking head. There was no signs of life. There was no fight back. I don't have a better phrase than this, and it's horrible. They just laid back and took it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. Because I watched the first half, and there was no fight, whatsoever. So, I don't know, maybe A&M is back. They lost to Notre Dame.
It's great for me.
Yeah, it's a quad one victory. That's for my college basketball people. But yeah, also Cal versus Miami. I am starting a Miami agenda where they were not going to play they're probably not going to play a top 25 team this entire season. Now, how can you call yourself a top 25 team if you never play a top 25 team? Please don't clip this, because what if UH does this at some point? I'll still say they're the best team in the country. But also, I didn't finish Cal Miami. I fell asleep because I had to take Benadryl that night because I was very, very allergic to whatever I did that day. So I fell asleep, and I was very sad to see these score because I wanted Cal to win that one badly.
Yeah. So on Texans home games, I'm never going to be able to stay up late and watch the late night games, the former Pac-12 games. I woke up and was like, Miami won. Check Twitter, and it was just like, Miami got fucking. They went on a comeback, a pretty unlikely comeback, and won that thing. I was like, ooh.
I watched Miami. I think I had 2 minutes left when I just passed out. I was pretty sure Miami was going to come back and get it because they had all the momentum in the world. Cal couldn't stop. There's nothing you could do to stop them. Speaking, by the way, of not being able to be stopped, Big Ten teams this season, when traveling across 2+ time zones, are 1-7.
Ooh, interesting.
Again, not to talk about how much I hate conference realignment, but I'd like to say, hey guys, who could have seen this coming? Who could have seen that traveling across the country would kind of screw you up a little bit? What a crazy thought process. At least, imagine going. It's like teams going to play Hawaii, except not, but it's a long journey.
But better than Hawaii.
Better than Hawaii.
Teams that are better than Hawaii.
Teams that are actually going to try at some point. It's like you don't go to the no one's going to listen to this. As you don't go to USC to be like, wow, I want to live on the beach. Or actually, maybe go to USC for that. You don't go to Wisconsin for that. You go to Wisconsin because you like Wisconsin. You don't go to Wisconsin because you want to sit on a beach.
You like beer and cheese.
Yeah. Which, by the way, who doesn't?
Yeah, I know, right? I know. They're kind of winning there. My last two college notes are: hey, this was just like playoff baseball. It was kind of nice to have no emotional investment for this week, and it was nice just to watch some college football. Now, I didn't get to watch as much college football as I wanted, but alas, it was still a good weekend, and there was no, oh great, from 2:30 to 6 o'clock, I'm going to be pacing around my house wanting to kick a door open. And then my last note is we got four pretty big matchups this weekend. We got number 1 Texas at 18 Oklahoma. We got number 2 Ohio State at number 3 Oregon. That game's gonna fucking rule. But I said last weekend was gonna suck. So there's a great chance this game sucks.
It's not even a defensive battle. It's just both teams suck that much.
Number 9 Ole Miss at LSU, or at 13 LSU, and then number 4 Penn State at USC. Sure, USC is no longer ranked. They're still a good team. And I need them to start winning so that way when we beat them, it looks a lot better.
I have one last note on college football. Can we just give Ashton Giante the Heisman right now?
Oh my God, he's so good.
He's so good. And I understand that they're playing maybe subpar teams. He's so good. They take him out. They play 5 games this season. 5 games. He's not taken out at the half twice, including this past week. Where, by the way, by the time he was taken out at the half, he had 186 yards and 3 touchdowns.
So that's a full game.
Yeah. Through 5 games this year, he has 1,031 yards and 16 touchdowns.
He has a season stats. Halfway through the season.
He could stop playing right now and still be in consideration for the Heisman.
It's absolutely insane.
And I like to point out again, he did not start playing running back until senior year of high school because he lived overseas and he can come back and just play a position that was probably already established at the high school. He was playing on defense half the time. So maybe again, playing some cupcakes, Utah State, not the best team in the world. Sure. With that said, you can't fake those numbers. Those are NCAA 25 numbers.
It's a two-man race between him and Travis Hunter, because Travis Hunter, you have the argument that he's doing it on both sides of the ball, but it is I think Giante's pulling away.
Yeah, I mean, as many times as Travis Hunter gets a touchdown interception, they're just that's cool, that's awesome, that's amazing. These are numbers you put up in a video game. It's just
2 60+ yard touchdown runs is fucking stupid.
Yeah. And again, he's getting taken out on half. And they don't even try. So, NFL, question for you, Brian. Is Josh Allen alive?
I hope.
Yeah.
But I was at the game, so I didn't see how bad the hit was or that the fact that he got knocked the fuck out. So when I went home and I was just like, I looked at it, and I was like his head bounced off the fucking turf. Bounced like a basketball bounced. It was bad.
Yeah, so I was watching live, and when I saw it happen, I was like, "Oh, is he like?" He kind of like the arms dropped. It felt like a very like Tua 2 and whenever Tua did it, like this past season, the season before. I was like legitimately worried for Josh Allen. I thought he was hurt. Apparently, because you also didn't see it on because you weren't watching. They took him to the sideline and they didn't put the blue tin up. And what I think happened is someone from the NFL or someone from above called and said, "Hey, take him into the blue tent, please," because it looks ridiculous that he's not in the blue tent yet. And they took him in the blue tent, and then he came back out, and Mitch Trubisky ran one running play. Apparently, they used smelling salts on him to like help him wake him up. Not great, honestly. That's what you do when you're trying to squat 500 pounds. Not what you do when you're trying to wake up a guy who may be concussed.
Yeah. I don't think. I think an investigation is coming their way, and I like. Is he being? How does he not have a concussion? He fucking slammed his head down and he passed out, and they had to like, hey, that's the only way they could get him back up and ready to roll in the blue tent. That's insane. By the way, they still lost. I kind of am of the opinion that they may have done better if he had not been knocked out. Oh, 100%.
I whenever that fourth quarter was happening, I felt flashbacks to the Chiefs, to the Colts, where it was just like, oh, there's just nothing you can do to stop it. Like they're just coming. I thought that was gonna be a loss. Thank goodness that it wasn't. Kaimi Fairbairn, another like spectacular game. That guy. This is the week of the kickers in general. Week of the kicker for the Texans as well, because Kaimi Fairbairn, great job. Thank you for that. Like again, you weren't watching on TV. They had the range, like the red range of Texans got right to that range, like right to where they thought he could kick, and he made it perfect. So,
he had another 5 yards on the thing easy too.
Yeah. No, that was great. He's the one that won the game. I think he got the game ball. If he didn't, then D'Amico needs to talk to him. By the way, D'Amico, what's going on with the play calling, buddy? About the play calling the fourth.
That was Bobby Slowick.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, well, I can just.
Bobby Slowick is the OC, and I'm not. He's done the same thing all year, dude. First down, hand the ball off. Second down, first down, hand the ball off. Didn't work. Second down, hand the ball off. Doesn't really work. Now this has been since Joe Mixon went out, which we'll get to in a little bit. All right, it's 3rd and 8 through 11. Figured out, CJ. Good luck.
Yeah.
And CJ's pulled through, and it's just like, okay, we got a first down. Good job. Run the ball. It didn't work. Run the ball. That didn't work. CJ bails out. We don't win this game without Nico Collins exploding his hamstring, which he's now on a 4-week IL splint.
Quickly, the play calling feels very much like, and I maybe use this too much, but it feels like Dana Holgorsen play calling, where he like scripted out what he was going to do, and it was like he was going to either run, screen pass, then try to throw deep. And that kind of feels like what the Texans are doing this season, at least at the end of the game, where it was like, run, try again. CJ, please do something magical. We beg of you. By the way, the intentional grounding, I know people were upset about that. I am less of like a second-year QB who kind of got tasked with figuring it out. I can forgive an intentional grounding here or there. It just kind of happens.
It happens.
Again, I'm not an NFL quarterback by any means. I feel like that's just an easy mistake to make when it's kind of, oh shit, I gotta get something done. Speaking of Joe,
but these past couple of weeks has proven how important Joe Mixon is to this team.
I was about to say we need a good running back, because it feels like we're just everything that's happening is because we want to throw the ball. The ball's being thrown. CJ's trying to make it happen. We need a guy who is consistently can get us 3-4 yards. And it's just not there right now. There's no one you can trust to be like, hey, I remember in middle school, our coach used to say all the time, this was like a fundamental thing. I just need 3 yards. I need 3 yards from you. I don't need more. I just need 3 yards. There's no one you can trust to go out and do there and do that right now, which is concerning, because at some point the passing game is going to get shut down. It might get shut down this week. It won't, but it might.
Well, we're missing our number one receiver.
Well,
Tank Dell has been a nothing so far. Stephon Diggs, this is Stephon. Listen, if Tank Dell and John Mechie can't step up big in these next 4 weeks, Stephon Diggs is going to get a lot of targets and he's going to get he's going to get a lot of yards, but it can't be a one-man show.
I mean, there was a worry from us that teams will slowly but surely figure out that the first person CJ always checked was Nico Collins. That was just his first check down. And obviously now his first check down is Stephon Diggs. And I don't think Tank Dell's going to get it. I don't think John Mechie's going to get that. I just don't think – I don't know. I'm a little worried about this week in terms of like – I think the Texans are still going to win this week. I just worry a little bit that CJ may be like not exposed, but it's going to be a hard week for him to adjust to the fact that Nico's not there.
Patriots have a pretty good defense. Now they are starting their rookie quarterback.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Drake May. Thank you for your interest in the NFL, and goodbye to you as well.
Yeah, because Chicago has a slightly better offensive line, and Caleb Williams, who is a more mobile, more talented quarterback, got rushed or pressured 48% of the time and got sacked 7 times. Oh no.
Yeah, this feels like an execution. Like it just feels like an execution waiting to happen.
Like if there was a game to be like, okay, Jacoby Brissett is our sacrificial piece, this is another game to be like, we can wait one more week.
You don't draft a quarterback, like a guy who maybe seems like is your next guy in line at least, and then put him up against a great defensive line, against a team that's doing relatively well with a relatively good defense. Even though the DBs are questionable at times, cornerbacks are doing well. The line is pretty good, especially if your line is as bad as the Patriots. This feels like they're saying like, hey, this is a loss. Let's just go put the rookie out there and go get killed.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. So I hope our defense eats up. Last note on the Texans for me, offensive line. You did it! Yay! No major penalty. Well, I think they had a holding, but like it wasn't an egregious, game-shattering penalty, flags flying everywhere, turn of events like the Vikings games was, what we looked like against the Bears. Like they did good. They did good. Good on you guys. Keep it the fuck up.
It wasn't like Larry Tunsil. Everyone was like, Larry, please, we beg of you, just stop. Just wait a half second to move. So good job to you guys. I have 2 more notes, but they're on the Bills. One, Sean McDermott, thanks, buddy. We owe you like a Papa's gift card or something for that egregious last quarter. Also, the Bills have no offensive identity. It feels like they don't have an offensive identity at all right now, other than like Josh Allen makes it happen, which is not an identity in any sense. You can't have just I don't know. You really can't have a quarterback who's like, I'm just going to do it myself all the time. We're going to hope for the best. So that was my 2 more notes on the Bills. I don't think it's going to get better for them. The AFC East went from like a really strong looking division to not good at all.
Bad.
Yeah. Speaking of the AFC East looking bad, Robert Saleh getting escorted out of the building. Not fired. I mean, fired, but also escorted out of the building. That's horrible.
I did hear something that might have been Florio being Florio. And that every coach is escorted by security out. Just like when you get fired at a job, you get escorted by security. Not necessarily like by your fucking, they've got on each arm, these legs are kicking and shit. I think they just have to walk him out. So I don't think Florio lied, but it does feel like an embellishment of, yes, he did in fact get escorted by security, but I'm going to word it in the sense that people are thinking he's going to be fighting the entire way.
Apparently I saw something that the old Jets coach before him, whatever his name may be, wasn't escorted out by security. So I don't know the situation. I'm given what's coming out about, it seems like he was going to demote Nathaniel Hackett. Which is probably smart because the Jets also look bad on offense. And then like 5 minutes later, he got fired. There are a lot of questions about who's running that team right now. Is the head coach, is the owner, is the man who sees demons? You decide. I'm not there to decide if
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Again, what's the tweet? It's like, Mahomes, that Kansas City has a generational quarterback who's doing amazing things. My quarterback's getting high in the wilderness every offseason.
Going to the jungle and smoking crack.
I'd like to say, I think we all know this. Robert Saleh wasn't the problem in any capacity. I think you may.
I don't think he's a great head coach, though.
He's not a great head coach, but if you look at the defense, which was his baby, they had the fourth most snaps in all the NFL since he took over in 2021. They had the first in points per drive. So they were allowing the least amount of points per drive since 2021, and they were third in success rate. So like the defense was looking great. Now you can say last season he kind of got screwed in the quarterback position. That's fair. This season it seems like I don't know, like I don't think Nathaniel Hackett's a good coach. I think there's one guy that works well with him, and that's Aaron Rodgers. I think they just mesh for some reason. If you watch him on the Jets,
not really this year,
not this year, but if you watch the Jets Hard Knocks last season, it seems like Nathaniel Hackett is like kind of corny. Like if you look at his time with the Broncos head coach, his time in Green Bay, the Hard Knocks, where he's like a kind of weird, corny dude. But for some reason, Aaron Rodgers just loves him, and he just gets along with him. And that seems to be like Aaron Rodgers' guy. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the Jets next week. I have them losing this week because I don't think they're going to get a new head coach bump. Usually if you fire your head coach, you get a bump and you win that week. I don't think that's for the Jets this week, but I am interested to see what happens with the Jets going forward because who knows if the defense is going to keep the same level of intensity, and who knows what's about to happen with the offense.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they play a Bills team that is the Bills have been probably the most inconsistent team in the NFL.
Yeah.
So we'll I guess we'll see how this week shakes out, and that'll kind of shape the future of the AL East. Goddamn AFC East. Chiefs can't stop winning. Yeah. They just win ugly. They don't look flashy. They don't look great. I mean, but they're 5-0. You can't deny it. Like they're 1, 2, or 3 in the NFL, and I really think they're just saving all their bread and butter for the playoffs or a last minute push if they need it. So I think we're watching an ugly Chiefs team almost on purpose. Like Mahomes has not been the regular season Mahomes for a couple years now, but then they get to the playoffs and then they just fucking light it up. Like I also saw an egregious thing by ESPN just pushing the narrative that it was like on the Bet ESPN, Patrick Mahomes is the MVP favorite. His stat line is 6 touchdowns, over 1,000. He has like 1,060 yards, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a QBR of like 58. What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, it's ESPN being ESPN. I actually have written down my 4 favorites for MVP right now. Patrick,
go.
I have Lamar, Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, and Derrick Henry.
I don't hate that list.
That's
crazy that one team might have 2 MVP candidates.
Which, I mean, Derrick Henry he's an amazing form right now. You just can't stop him. I mean, something been said about like a 6'4", 250-pound man who just runs like that. By the way, the Chiefs did a lateral. Once again,
it's a cool play.
I mean, I'm starting to think it's the new meta for the NFL. Who knows?
It's a cool play.
Yeah, cool play. They're going to win. Again, I think I texted you this, and I'll tell this on the air now. I've never really related Taylor Swift as a lyricist. She's not for me. And I understand that. Her in the stands at a Chiefs game going, I want to fucking kill myself after a bad play is the most I've ever related to her in any way. Because, maybe I've not done that watching football sometimes. Watching the U.S. men's national team for the past 10 years, every game I'm like, I want to fucking kill myself right now watching this game. So Taylor, I agree. Yeah, it's hard to watch.
I get it, girl.
I get it. I've been there. I'm there almost every week watching UH football. Yeah.
So I didn't love how much attention the NFL was giving Taylor Swift because it felt like it was being shoved. It had nothing to do with her. It was the NFL just shoving her down everyone's throat. Almost like they were milking her. Look at this. Probably shouldn't have used the term milking. Anyways, unlike most celebrities that go to games, though, she's a fan, dude. She's out of her seat, reacting to everyone. She's not just sitting there with a fucking cocktail, talking to fucking other millionaires, doing jack dick, not paying attention to the game at all, not giving a shit. She's like invested. It's hard. You can't hate on that. She's an actual fan, and of course, yeah, she's cheering on her boyfriend who get married. Just bridge the gap. Bridge the gap.
Have children for the birth rates, please. Have children for the birth rates.
That the Japanese prime minister would just be like,
Shinzo Abe.
They're doing it right. They're doing it right. Otani, I need you to. Oh, Otani's married, but still.
I'll clip. I'll clip this and just have his half sex thing.
Listen, I went from not enjoying how much the NFL was showing Taylor. Now that they're showing her, but not shoving her down everyone's throat all the time, it's perfect. And I think she I don't fucking know anything about her really. I think she likes it too, that she's not the center of attention and she can go to her boyfriend's games, have a great time, be invested, and not worry that a camera is going to cut to her every single fucking in between play.
Realistically, I think we're a couple of hard weeks away from seeing her throw a beer at somebody. Not in a oh my God, you guys are running another screen pass, like another screen pass for a loss. I can imagine her just throwing a beer down. And I'm excited for that.
Damn. Okay. They don't play the Colts or the Jaguars, or the Colts, Jaguars, or Titans, because I was going to do the Kratos meme. Taylor, throw a beer at a Colts fan and my life is yours.
I mean, this is our Colts, this is our team, we bleed blue. That song's always in my head all week. Shout out to The Flow with Seth. I have a couple more notes. One of them is we are this close to the Jameis agenda happening again. We're this close.
He's the only one that can save this team.
The more I think about it, the more I genuinely think that's Jameis might be my favorite quarterback of all time.
He's fun.
He's fun.
I don't necessarily know if I would like to be a fan of a team that he's playing for, but he's fun.
Yeah, no, if I was a team with the 30-30 season, I might go kill him myself. But as a guy who just watches it, I love when quarterback, speaking of, it's Kirk Cousins this week, who threw for 500 yards. Whenever a quarterback just slings it just unwittingly, it's like Josh Allen, the Green Goblin mask. I just want to throw. Whenever they do that, I love it. Jameis, we're this close. We're one bad Deshaun Watson quarter away from Jameis Winston coming in and just saving the team.
I hope it happens. I only have a couple more notes as well. I'll list them off real quick. If you got something to say on them, please do. Poor Joe Burrow. Dude, if he had a competent defense, if he did a top 15 defense, they would be an amazing team and that he'd be an MVP candidate. But he's just doing crazy things. Threw for 5 touchdowns and lost.
Bengals
Ravens told. Go ahead.
I was going to say Bengals Ravens was a great game. That was a killer game. Fun game.
I'm upset that I didn't get to watch it.
The more, though, that I see Joe Burrow and the Bengals, the more I realize it's just not going to happen. It's just never going to happen for him.
He's going to have to leave.
He's going to have to leave or something.
No, but he's got a big contract.
He's going to have to leave. He's going to have to go somewhere else. It's as much as I want Joe Burrow to succeed, Burrow is like my Valentine. It's just never going to happen for them or for him and for her too. It's just sad. It's a Shakespearean Greek tragedy come to life, where as much as you want the main characters to succeed, they just never will. And that's on the Bengals, but I'm sad to see it.
Who's his Joey Wheeler? Jamar Chase?
I almost say Mahomes is, because they play against each other. They seem to like each other a lot, but it seems like I don't know. I think Jamar
I don't agree with that. Kansas City Chiefs seem to fucking hate Burrow because of what he does to them.
Yeah, I think Jamar Chase is probably the best one. I think there's only one that I can think of. And Brooklyn Rage. Speaking of Brooklyn Rage, the Yankees and Mets. But yeah, the more I see it, the more I realize that it's just never going to happen for him.
Last two notes. Ravens, told you not to hit the panic button. Y'all are going to be fine. Stay the course. You guys are probably going to win that division. You're going to move on. You're going to make a real shot at this thing. Derrick Henry is going to help carry that team to the Super Bowl. I really do think they're a favorite right now. Defense kind of has to step up a little bit, but I think the Bengals are that good at defense. 49ers, though, panic button time. Holy shit.
Yeah. Speaking of the 49ers, Kyler Murray has a partnership with COD now, which makes me wonder, are we not going to get the slump this year? Is he going to be?
I don't think we will.
I don't know. It just the fact that he's leaning into it makes me think it might not happen this year. I say that as maybe he goes like an 0-4 once it comes out because he can't stop playing all the time. He uses the Johnny Manziel thing where he just doesn't look at the playbook. 0 seconds watched, 0 seconds read, whatever. But yeah, NFL this week was fun.
All right, moving on to picks. Week 6. All right. 49ers Seahawks Thursday Night Football.
Seahawks.
Jaguars Bears.
I have the Bears.
Bucks Saints.
Bucks.
Saints. Commanders Ravens. Cardinals Packers. Packers. Colts Titans. Colts. Texans Patriots.
Texans.
Texans. Browns Eagles.
I have the Browns, but this is on the hope that Jameis comes in.
All right, I like that. I got the Eagles. Chargers Broncos. Chargers. Steelers Raiders.
I'm can't play a page out of your book. Going Raiders.
Really? I'm going Steelers. I'm tired of losing on the fucking Raiders. Falcons Panthers. Falcons. Lions Cowboys.
Lions.
Bengals Giants. Giants.
Okay.
Bills Jets.
I have Bills.
Jets.
Okay. I don't think they're going to get a bump this week. For the record, I am 38-41 on the season. I was 7-6 last week. Last week was a weird week, so I somehow got either one alive.
I'm 43-35. I didn't have a great week, but we're pretty close.
All right.
And then now for my picks, I'm having a rough go of things. But I'm positive. I'm 40-37-1 on the year. We start off with 49ers Seahawks over 47, Bears -2, Cardinals +5, Saints +3.5, Browns +8.5, Texans Patriots under 37.5, Colts money line, Commanders Ravens over 52, Chargers Broncos under 36, Steelers Raiders under 36.5, Falcons -6, Cowboys +3.5, Giants +3.5, Bills -2.5.
All right. Perfect. Last thing on the agenda this week for us, you and I both grew up in Houston. Hockey was not a thing either of us were really ever into. It wasn't played recreationally, really. The Arrows were kind of here, and now they're gone. But we have decided that we want to watch hockey this year. So we're about to do a hockey spin because we don't know what teams to pick. Only parameters are this. We didn't put none of the 4 teams that made it to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals were here just because we wanted to be relatively objective. I don't want to bandwagon. First wheel is going to be...
And no stars.
And the Stars made it to the Eastern Conference or Western Conference playoffs.
Oh, perfect.
So it worked out perfectly. But yeah, fuck the Stars because they're Dallas. I have 2 rules. We're going to do 1 spin, and whoever wins it gets to call East or West. And then for the spin of the East and West, you get 1 veto. So let's get this started.
But the team is not removed.
Yeah.
So you could land it right on it and be your team of fate.
It's a fate team right there.
You're up, buddy. You want East or West?
I want the East. Give me the East.
All right. That would be this one. All right. The Maple Leafs. You want them?
Fuck it. Yeah, we're taking the Maple Leafs.
All right. I like
their jerseys. Maple Leafs. I'm one of you now. Canadians. I'm one of you now. I'm on the train. Let's do this.
So I have to do a reroll. So here we are doing a hard cut in of my roll after Jordan got the Maple Leafs.
All right.
I don't get a veto though. So I'm just whatever this lands on, we're rolling with. This is my team.
Okay. Let's do this. There we go.
It's gonna be so funny once.
And if it's the Flames again, I'm gonna cry with laughter.
Avalanche. I don't know anything about them. Colorado, right?
Yeah. So you have like a team.
That's almost central.
That's almost central. Okay. Brian, anything else you want to talk about before we head on out?
No, I'm excited to begin this NHL trek with you, dude. I don't know shit about hockey.
No. I've looked up what icing is before, and I still don't know what it is. I probably should know, but I've totally forgotten. Maple Leafs fans, if you're listening, I'm excited to be one of you now. Again, I know nothing about hockey, and please teach me. With that said, one more thing. I'd like to give a shout out to the Boise State Beach Volleyball Goth Girl. All goth mommies have my heart, but her especially. All right, Brian, where can the people find you?
You can find me across all social medias at Auric Polaris, especially on twitch.tv/Auric Polaris, AURICPOLARIS.
And you can find
Jordan. Where can we find the people? Where can the people find you?
Find me at Jordan's Thoughts on Twitter, and then find me at the Moonstamp Sports accounts across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I'll be posting there as well. Thank you guys so much for listening. Maple Leafs fans, again, happy to be one of you now. I'm going to buy a jersey. Actually, I was looking at a jersey a second ago. I'm going to buy a jersey and wear it next week on the pod. I think they're losing right now to the Canadians. Don't know what that means. So thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. We appreciate everything.
Go Avs and stay beautiful.